Guess who got a phone call from the Alex and Layla Hormozi yesterday? That would be me. I'm still shaking a little bit. I made my husband listen to the call twice this morning.
Twice? I didn't know that. You made him listen to it twice.
We will get more into that later on in the episode, as well as probably digest some of the amazingness that has been the last 72 hours in the world of people who study and learn from Alex Hormozi. But today's episode is all about creating content. And I've been studying this morning, Judy. So we are looking at Hormozi's tip number 4. Simplify your strategy, focus on one offer, one audience, and one marketing channel until you hit 1 million per year. Say no to distractions, get reps. So if you are under 1 million per year, complexity is likely killing your growth. So I'm just going to say it one more time. One product, one avatar, one channel. That's the game. I also love that we aren't following this, but let's talk through it.
Hey,
we're on Instagram and YouTube.
but our clients are following it, okay? And it works. So our clients are following it and it works. Why? If you're on here, you're likely an entrepreneur, and we all have entrepreneurs like Alex kind of mentioned on a call, but like especially Greta and I, like we love pain, and so we like put ourselves in painful situations. We have huge hearts, and we want to serve everyone. We really, really do. Like we want to help you achieve the biggest things. You're on here, like that's what you want. You want to serve, but we do it to too much to where it's going to burn us out. So we definitely have to, like, that's why we created Bringing Simplicity. We're here to simplify everything for entrepreneurs. And so you need to simplify by basically, Alex is saying it like, because I can't get you guys to stop doing all the things. Because you're like probably thinking, you're like, oh, but I can do 2 things. I can do 3 things. Well, once you start doing 2 things, all of a sudden you're doing 20 things. So one avatar, so ideal client, avatar, ideal client, ICP, one offer. I know that's so painful because everybody's like, we literally just talked to somebody yesterday and she's like, I have like these 5 things. Like I have this course done with you, done for you, then I come to you in person and then I do, and like, it's like, again, it's like the
brain has to work too hard.
Right, exactly. It's the constipation in your brain where you're like, oh, I don't know what I need. There's a reason why, which I don't know. I'm like, when was the last time I went into like, do finish lines and Foot Lockers still exist? They still exist, right? But like, there's a reason why when you go into the store and you say, can you give me this shoe? Like they don't bring you every shoe out in your size, right? They don't bring you every single shoe out in your size. It's too much. It's too overwhelming. And so they bring you a couple shoes, right? Usually you go in, and in my experience anyway, I've spent more at like Finish Line and Foot Locker than I do at like Issue Carnival, the one where like you can go pick out all your shoes yourself, like you can grab them
Yes.
off. Yeah. Okay. So like you guys can tell how much I go physically shopping now. I just like ship everything here.
Thing.
Right? Ship everything here. But like I typically either buy nothing or I buy less when I walk into those stores because like I'm super overwhelmed. Like I have all of these options. So in this episode, we're going to break down, that's the same for your clients. When you give them too much, we're going to break down how to help you simplify your strategy so that way you can scale faster. Remember, we do 5-figure months in like usually month 3 and 4 if you follow our process. So you're going to learn how more is killing your business. It's the enemy, it's the villain, it's the complexity, and how to unlock that, how to really like unlock your ability to scale and grow so that way you can get to that 1 million year mark.
For sure. So when we think about one offer, it's really important to stick to one offer because that allows you to communicate one clear transformation and ultimately to provide faster results to the people that you're serving. Think about it. If you try to be a generalist in all the things, you're likely not going to provide the support that the person who's coming to you needs. And the problem is you probably think like, I'm really good at all of this, so I want to help this person with all of this. But this person is only ready for one piece of the pie. And I am going to point to this weekend's Hormozi stuff because I can't resist. But I think it was so eye-opening to hear him talk about how he has been writing the most recent book for literally years. It was a part of the main thing, but he recognized that people needed to understand offers, needed to understand leads, and now they can understand money models, right? He could have given it to us all at once, but none of us would have been able to implement it. Half of us are barely implementing what we've already been given. And so he timed it in a way that it was digestible. Of course, I only want to talk about Hormozi, but I do want to talk specifically about a client that we worked with as well. That individual was selling 2 programs. She was selling like decent, like I wouldn't consider her like a failing business, but ultimately one was for service providers and one was for coaches. Her ads ultimately were underperforming. I think the algorithm was confused, like who should I be putting these ads in front of? Because we basically had 2 audiences in one ad account. Her emails weren't converting because people were clicking on the wrong ads, right? Like they would see words that spoke to them, but then ultimately the email was written for the other audience. And so we ultimately looked at her 2 offers. We looked at her opt-ins. We analyzed the data. We figured out which one was converting at a higher level for her and which one had a higher lifetime value. Who were the people that were staying with her longer? And we had her put all of her focus and all of her effort into that one offer. Did it break her soul? Absolutely. Because she wanted to do it all, but we asked her to trust the process, and thankfully our clients often allow us to make these type of decisions and trust the process. And the reality was her sales doubled in 30 days because she wasn't confusing her audience, and she had a lot more confidence and clarity going into her sales calls because she knew exactly who was going to be on that call and who, like, the problems that she served for them.
100%. And I want to pull back to you because everybody's like, but I want, like, if I show that I can do all these things, and like I'm gonna be seen as the expert. But like a master of everything is actually a master of none. Like you need to become a master of one, just one thing. So I really want to key in on that because that's what this is all about. Just one, the number one today. And so a lot of you are holding yourselves back because you think like, oh, I have to be this. Well, like if you had to narrow down, like, yes, Steph Curry has all of these other talents, but like usually when you pick a specific athlete, like it's like they're known for this one thing, right? And so the same goes for when you're looking for your avatar, your ICP, your like all of that, right? Like you are looking for the one. Like you're looking like this is my perfect client. And so your messaging needs to make sure that you're attracting that. So a lot of you have vague messaging, so you have vague results and they're not concrete. When we dive into your data, when Greta and I hop on these profit acceleration calls, these strategy calls with people, coaches who want to run ads, we're like, tell us the data. Like, how's your funnel performing? What's your click through? What's your email? Which offer is? And you guys are like, you're like, oh, this one is the best one. And then we dive in deeper and it's like, it's actually not the best one. It's actually this one over here. And so one example of this is we worked with a client and just like people come to us and they're like, I know my idea. Like, I know what they want. And like how we get people quickly, like usually within 7 months to 7 figures is webinars, right? Like that's what we do. And so I'm like, okay, let's run a webinar on that topic then. Let's do it. Let's give it a try. And it totally crashed and burned like we knew it would, but we let the client, like sometimes you guys have to experience some of that. Again, we like pain as entrepreneurs. So we narrowed down, as Layla and Alex reminded us yesterday, continuously on that like 8-minute call with them that you had. We narrowed it down. And we're like, okay, so we actually want them to be at this stage in their business, right? Like if you speak to, hey, I help entrepreneurs here. Alex Hormozi talks about it a lot when he talks about the gym. Again, like he started with gyms. That was it. But he was like gyms that focus on like I only want to help private gyms. So it was like he wasn't gonna help any chain gyms. So like narrowing it down specific to that, and like they can raise their hand and be like, "That's me." If you could get them to say, "That's me," like at least 3 times, you're getting to your ideal avatar. You're one, and then and so now that we switched that client, the one that I was telling you about, to say like, oh, they're doing at least 6 figures in revenue annually in their business. They have, they have that. And now they are trying to hit that 7-figure actual annual mark. And so now he's closing like 70% of his sales calls. And like just from that, and it's like they're easy closes. He's like, this is so easy. I'm like, yes, when you follow the one process, it's so easy. So it finally clicked, and now he's like raving and like wants to do more. It makes him want to do more. Like it's just like that's how you scale, right? Like Alex talks about it. Like that's how you scale, is then like you then do the thing that's working and you just put more energy towards that. So one clear avatar makes everything more clear, more simple, and more effective, so you can scale quicker.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we're going to talk about sticking to one channel. We spent a lot of time talking about one offer, one avatar. Now we're going to talk about one channel. And I did laugh a little bit. In case you wondered, this is like my handy dandy, always next to me. But I was like, dang. I mean, I believe
it's
that.
funny because mine's right here. you guys saw that. This was not planned.
Say, and if I needed to, I'm like, I can just reach here, and here's the other one too.
The other offers.
But I was like, man, it's so funny because I believe, obviously, that Alex Hormozi said this because we pulled from actual transcripts of his YouTube. But I was like, I swear in the book he talks about multi-channel. And then I found this beautiful graphic, which nobody's going to be able to see, where he talks about how you have to, it's on page 81, where you have to basically format your posts differently for each platform that you're on. So if you are successfully, and I'm putting that in quotes, on multiple platforms, that does not mean you have to immediately turn it off. Also, please don't come at me like Alex Hormozi said that I could be on multiple platforms. You're right. He did make that as sort of a vague statement. However, if you actually read the chapter in the book, he says you can only be on multiple platforms if you have the bandwidth to be personalizing the content for the platform, meaning the type of content you're creating on YouTube is specific to YouTube, and the type of content you're creating for IG is specific to IG, right? So, and then he also talks about volume, so that volume negates luck. And I will say, this is a part that like, I don't ever want to go against Alex Hormozi, but we do see that our people have success without the volume. But I'm obviously not going to argue with him that more content means more feedback, which means a faster repetition of what am I going to create that actually speaks to my audience. And we tend to work with people who can afford ads right away. And so without having to create 200 pieces of content, we're getting that same feedback. But if you are focusing your efforts on organic strategy, like you kind of shouldn't listen to that advice from us that you only have to post 3 times per week, because our 3 times per week is coupled with ads, right? Yeah. And so when you think about mastering platforms, you have to learn how to speak to your people. And no social media course is going to teach you how to talk to your avatar. Are they going to give you hooks that potentially work? Sure. Are they going to give you general strategies on how to edit your reels? Yeah. But only you can tell your story and showcase your transformations for your people. So the more content that you're creating that speaks to your people, the more success you're going to have. And when you spread yourself thin, what we find over and over again, and I'm thinking of a specific client who was splitting her time between Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I think she even had a LinkedIn, and she felt like all she ever did was create content and none of that content was converting. But when we actually went and looked at the content, it was all kind of crappy. Like, it was like, well, no wonder nobody's like sending you DMs. Like, you can, first of all, tell that's 100% ChatGPT. Second of all, you're not actually saying anything that means anything to me. So it's a total scroll stop. Like, it's not a scroll stopper. And so if you hear anything from this is, do not feel like you have to be on a million platforms. Do feel like you have to get your content in front of as many people as possible on a consistent basis. And that sometimes means posting a crap ton organically. It can also mean incorporating low cost ad strategies into it, which we talk about in our Simplicity ad system. So if you're interested in learning more about that, we'll drop the link below. And so ultimately, the person who we helped, we were like, hey, what's your favorite platform to create content for? And she was like, I love TikTok. Like, that's my people. I feel like they interact with my stuff. I don't have to really think about my content. I just like go live and talk, and I'm getting a lot of engagement. And we were like, sweet. For the next 30 days, don't create content for anywhere other than TikTok. And she went from scattered traffic to making like $2,000 in sales last week. And like, even she was like, holy crap, you guys, like I just stayed consistent and I'm making money. And it's like, heck yeah. Like, and you didn't have to post to all of the other places. So not only is she less stressed, but she's making more money. That's a win-win-win to me.
Yeah, it's a win-win-win. Focusing on one thing, and she like enjoyed it, right? Like she enjoyed it, her clients enjoyed it, and that's where it's like it's gonna come full circle for all of you guys who are like, I can't like it, the more, because like we're always taught like do more and more and more, go get more and more and more, go get more and more degrees, go get more and more certifications, go and get more and more, like that's like what we're taught, right? Like get all of the things. But her clients, like they feel taken care of too. Like when they see you consistently on one platform, like Greta, to your point, like on one, platform, like, oh, like they're again, the consistency, like they're really, really here for me, and they're gonna be here for me. They can count that they can count on you to be there. And so I feel like we have to talk about the call before we end this call, Greta, because like Alex Hormozi and Layla was on too. So like
I know, I was so sad. I was like, can you please, like I wanted to be like, can we please three-way call Judy? I can't believe I'm getting to talk to both of you. And also in the anticipation leading up to the call, I was like, why did I give them my number? I should have given them Judy's number.
But it was so amazing because they just are like the way that they simplify things too. And again, like they can help any type of business owner, right? Like they have so many examples to be able to help you, and they're like they've gone through it. They've gone through everything, and no matter what type of business they've helped, whether it's brick and mortar or services or anything like that, it was basically like, okay, Greta and Judy, you're doing too many things. Focus on it was the reminder. It was the reminder for us of go all in on one and bet on you. It's scary because when you do focus on one, it puts more pressure on you because it's like you're betting on yourself more. You have less things to blame. You can't, like, if you're only on Instagram, you can't blame Instagram because like it's like, oh, these people over here are making money, so like obviously it's me if I'm not making money, right? And so that's a scary thing, and that's a scary thing as an entrepreneur. But that's also the most beautiful thing about entrepreneurship, is because you're rewarded when you do start to serve people in that special way. So next we're going to talk more about how to scale, convert with cold leads using organic. I mean, this is kind of what we talk about, like Greta, you said, in our Simplicity ad system, but to help you build profitable ad funnels and strategies with just your one offer. So how do you get those people to convert without spending a ton of money into your mid-ticket offers? So we will see you all next week.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.